All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be checking out some blue-black Usopp action. And so I got to say, before we even start, there was the finals last night, at the time we were recording this, for the, I think it was the Asian Nationals or Asia Finals. I can't remember exactly what it was called. But guys, let's just say blue-black Usopp did pretty well in that, and we're going to check that out in today's video, okay? Now, let's go ahead and dive into this. I've already gone over a video on Usopp Kid from OP10. I've already gone over a video of Green-Yellow Law. I will link those in the comment section below. But today we're going to be going over Blue-Black Usopp as we make our way through all the new OP10 leaders. Cannot wait to get into these all these new cards. It's been so much fun, guys. I've been blasting the sim nonstop. I'll also link that in the comment section below as well, guys, for those who might not know how to set the sim up. Guys, what you see me playing on usually, let me move my leader screen real quick so y'all can see. Like this whole thing you see in the background, this is a completely free sim made by this guy named Batsu, and he's got a little team of people that works with him. And those guys, they do such an incredible job. This is a totally free resource for you guys to use. The cards in it, downloading it, everything about it. So if you're trying to get into One Piece or you're just thinking about it, it's a great resource at your disposal that you could use at any time. And I will link in the comment section below a video I show how to set it up in a video. I will link that in the comment section below. Now, let's get into this, guys. Let me break down the video for you real quick. First things first, we're going to check out the deck list. Then from there, we're going to head over. We got 5 games on the sim, and I can actually tell you what those 5 games are real quick. We're going to have a game versus Usopp Kid, Reiju. Blurple Reiju is starting to see a resurgence, guys. They got that new Sanji leader, or I mean Sanji leader, not leader, but the character in OP10. So against Reiju, and then against G Bonney, a game against Blackbeard, and a game against Shanks. Okay, so we got some really cool games lined up. This leader feels very, very powerful, guys. Very controlling color combo, blue and black. We know what to expect there. And we'll break that down more as we get into the video. And then after all that, we'll go over the deck list again, and we'll wrap things up in that way. Okay, guys? All right, you know what to get into, or you know what you're getting into. We're going to, I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I have all relevant deck lists and links in the comment section below, okay? And somewhere along the way there, we're going to talk about the deck from the East that just did very well in the tournament, okay? So a little bit of spoilers, but yeah, we got to get through this. Now, let's do it, guys. First things first, let's go ahead and get into the deck list, and let's kind of talk about how things are meant to work for this leader, and go over the new cards. So here's the leader. First things first, we're going to talk about what the leader does. Okay, it's a 5,000 power 4-life leader with blue-black color pool and Dressrosa Straw Hat Crew type. Very powerful types and colors and everything already, right? Like everything that was read there is like, okay, 4-life leaders are what we come to expect for the dual-colored leaders, but man, having access to Straw Hat Crew stuff and Dressrosa stuff, 5,000 power, we're good to go. It can attack too. That's the good news, right? And check this out, guys. Your cost 2 and greater Dressrosa type characters have +1 cost. So you're already kind of protecting yourself against removal decks that go off of cost. And on your opponent's turn, once per turn, this effect may be activated when one of your Dressrosa type characters are removed from the field by your opponent's effects or are KO'd. And if you have 5 or less cards in your hand, draw 1 card. So if your character gets removed, you're going to be able to draw a card from it. That's the best way to think about it, as long as you have 5 or less cards in hand. And it does have to be a Dressrosa type character. Okay, excuse me. So that's the leader, and both of those effects are actually extremely relevant, and I think they will come up quite a bit in today's video. So first card we're going to go over is probably the star of the show for this deck, at least in my opinion. I mean, there's other talks here between Kairos and Rebecca. We'll talk about that more later. And one more thing before we dive into the list here. This is not a list that I made. I just copy-pasted from the East, and it's not the deck that just did well recently. It is a deck that's been out for a while. I just wanted to try something and, get some games in with it. I will be making my own version of the list later on down the road. But for today's video, we're going to be using something from the East. Now, this character we see here, Cavendish, it's running 4 of these. This is like the star of the show, in my opinion. It's a 4-cost 6K. It does not have a counter, but those are vanilla stats, and it has when attacking once per turn, draw 2, and trash 1. Okay, draw 2, trash 1 is massive, right? And you might be thinking, like, yeah, but that thing's never going to stick on the board for a turn, right? They're going to get rid of that immediately. Well, you're probably right. However, because of the core of the Coliseum, we can get value from this instantly, guys. We can get the value from it right away as long as there is a rested character for us to attack into. It cannot attack the leader right away. It can attack a rested character right away. Okay, this stage is really important for how this deck functions because number one, it's going to let you attack the turn you play out characters like this into the board so you can help get board control, which I think we're going to talk more about this later, especially when we get down to Zoro down here. But I think this deck was probably very, very good into Zoro, or excuse me, into Dofi is what I meant to say. I think this deck is very, very good into Dofi. You have ways to bounce it back even while getting tempo, and if they run into your blockers, you either draw cards or get cards out of your trash. We'll talk about all that in a minute. And you have this incredible 4-cost tool right here, a 4-cost 6K Zoro that can pop a 4 or less. Very, very relevant. And remember, you might be thinking like, yeah, but they're just going to bounce back your Cavendish. They're going to bounce back your Frankie. They're going to bounce back your Zoro. No, they're not, because those are Dressrosa characters, and they have 5 cost. So it's something you have to really, really consider, guys. This list is probably excellent at knocking out, Dofi. Now, so the Cavendish, I think, is like the main star of the show. And everything I'm about to say, just think of it like this. However good you think the card is, imagine how it is with Rush, the turn it comes into play, if they have rested characters. This Court of Colosseum, very, very good stuff here, guys. Make sure to pause and read this if you don't know what it does. But this is an older card we're going to skip over for now. The next up, and this is probably the... actually, this might be the 3rd best card in the deck, guys. I know that sounds crazy. This is like their version of like Trafalgar Law, what we just saw for yellow. It's a 7-cost 9K with a very relevant effect. However, the 2nd best card in the deck is probably this Zoro, and I'm going to talk about that too in a minute. So let's do Kairos first. Kairos is a 7-cost 9K, and it has on play return a 5 or less to the owner's hand. You can return your own cards to your hand if you need to get more card advantage. You know, bounce back your Leos, bounce back your Rebekahs, or bounce back a 5-cost or lower character on your opponent's side to keep up, to keep tempo. And then if you have the stage down, you're going sideways, smashing in. And this list is running 2 Ice Ages, so just imagine that real quick. This bounces a 5-cost, right? Okay, well, if you go Ice Age as well, now you're bouncing any card in the game for 8 Dawn, right? For 8 Dawn, you're bouncing back any 10-cost character or lower. So I guess Jack will be all right? Good old 7-cost Jack, he gets +4 to his cost, so he ends up being 11. But you guys get my point. We could just add a Suru to the combination if we need to. Now, this card, very strong, but there's not a whole lot to talk about. Just know, just remember this card when we go over this Rebekah, okay? Next up is Sabo, 4-cost 5K, 2K counter, Dressrosa, Revo Army card. If one of your characters other than Sabo, with an original cost of 7 or lower, they played around that, right? They played around the leader's effect. Very good for us. Listen to what happens. If it would be removed from the board by your opponent's effect, remember, any character with a original cost of 7 or lower, other than Sabo, would be removed from the board from your opponent's effect. You may instead return this character to your hand. So when they go to remove one of your characters, okay, instead of it getting removed, I'm going to bounce back this 2K counter to my hand. So this is a very, very powerful card. Leo's the new Searcher. It's a little complicated. You play it out. It's a 1-cost 2,000 power 1K counter. You play it out and you rest your leader or your stage. And then you're going to do a top 5 search. And you're going to grab 2 Dressrosa cards from there. And then you're going to trash a card after that. Like you're going to add 2 cards to your hand. And then once you have the cards in your hand, you can trash 1 card from your hand, whatever card you want to. Very, very powerful card. A great searcher. Goes along perfectly with the other searcher, the 1-cost the original Rebekah Searcher. Then we have this card. Okay, we have to spend a little bit of time talking about this, guys, because the card is so relevant to how the deck functions and how it works. This is a 7-cost, 4,000 power, 1K counter character. Those stats seem horrible, right? It's like, well, first of all, at least she has a 1K counter on a 7-cost body. We'll take that every time. But it's a 7-cost, 4,000 power, 1K counter character with this effect. On play, if there is a cost 8 or greater character in play, draw 1 card. Okay, now remember how Usopp works. This is a static effect that says your cost 2 and greater Dressrosa type characters have +1 cost. It is a static, continuous effect. So when your Rebekah enters play, it will count herself as an 8-cost character. Because she comes into play, her cost is immediately changed to 8. And then you're going to read what the on-play does, right? Then the on-play is going to take effect after the plus cost has happened from the leader's, baseline effect, right? And then what happens is, okay, if there's a cost 8 or greater character in play, well, we have one in Rebekah, draw 1 card. Just draw 1 card first. Then reveal up to 2 cost 7 or lower Dressrosa type characters other than Rebekah from your hand. Play one of them as active, and then the other, and then if the other has a cost of 4 or lower, you can play it as rested. So what's going to happen is you're going to be able to cheat out a card like the Kairos and the Zoro at the same time, or an even more like there's other lines as well. But another play is like playing out the Frankie, a very defensive line. Play out the Sabo, play out the Cavendish. There are four. Excuse me. There are four very relevant targets to cheat out with this secondary effect. The primary effect is Kairos for sure. You want to play out the Kairos, bounce something back to hand, but if you can play out the Zoro as well, think about what starts happening there, guys. I mean, if you do this on like an 8 Dawn turn, okay, well, I'm going to Ice Age your one of your bigger characters. I'll play out the Kairos to bounce this character, play out the Zoro to pop this character, and it's a massive tempo swing. And if you have the stage down for all that, you're swinging it with Kairos, okay? Absolutely incredible, okay? Then we got, let's keep going from there. We got the 2K counter Subaru, Idio. This is all the way back from OP04. Bartolomeo, Rebecca, One-Legged Toy Soldier. These are all from OP04. We're not going to spend time on that. The last cards we need to talk about are probably some of the most important ones in the deck. Frankie is our absolute top-tier #1 defensive card, and Zoro's one of our best removals that you can get your hands on for 4 Dawn right now in the black color pool. So Frankie here is a 4-cost 5K, 1K counter blocker. On KO, play up to 1 cost 3 or lower Dressrosa character from your trash, rested. So guess what the main targets are we're going for? I mean, you can grab Rebecca and Leo, but you're actually going to go for things like Bartolomeo and Idio. So you see what happens? You're basically doing this like trick where it's like, okay, they destroy my blocker. Okay, well now I get a tiny blocker. Okay, do they want to destroy that one too? Because that was 2 relevant attacks or removal we just went through. And by the way, if you had 5 or less cards in hand, you're drawing a card from it as well with the leader's effect. So this card is absolutely perfect for what we're trying to do, guys. It's absolutely perfect for like maintaining board presence and all that good stuff. Just play it out on curve, counter out early with your Bartolomeos and your Idios. These are cards you want in the trash. So when you do your Leo cycling, okay, let's put these cards in my trash. We'll put the Idio or a Bartolomeo in my trash, and then I'll go ahead and slam down a Frankie, and whenever he gets KO'd, I get the card right back. So it's very powerful. It's a very powerful interaction. Okay, and then last but not least, we got Zoro here. This is a 4-cost 6K, like I said. It is the same idea as Leo, where you have to rest your leader or stage. It's the same exact idea. So you may rest up to one of your Dressrosa type leaders or stages, KO up to one of your opponent's cost 4 or lower characters, and then trash the top 2 cards of your deck. It's filling up your trash, which is actually very good for what we're trying to do with this list. And, so that way we have more targets for Frankie, right? That's the main thing, honestly. It's not really for anything else in this list. But yeah, that's it, guys. This is the list. This is what we're going to be running in today's game. Now, let's do this. Let's get into the first game, because we will go back and talk about the list afterwards when we're done. Okay, first game up here is going to be versus Usopp Kid. Let me adjust this a little bit. There we go. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and here we go, guys. Usopp Kid is probably one of the better decks coming out of OP10. This and I would say Usopp and Captain Kid are probably like the best decks coming out of OP10, but we'll have to see what happens. They're going to start off with a Searcher. They're going to go first. They're going to go turn 1, Luffy, getting a Supernova. They got a Basil Hawkins, and then we're going to go ahead and play out a stage on turn 1, play out the Leo, resting our stage, doing a top 5 search. We're going to grab a Rebecca and a Frankie, and then we're going to trash a I trashed the Frankie there because I have another Frankie in hand. I would have preferred trashing like the 2K counter Sabo looking back, but hey, that's all right. We have another Frankie in hand. They're going to swing for 7. We're going to take this, and then we're going to pass. And then they're going to pass. They played out a 1-cost Scratch Poo. They swung in for like 8K, guys. Or 7K. That was a big hit. So we're going to play out Rebecca, do some searching. Play out another Rebecca, do some searching. Leo, do some searching. Guys, we just went through like, what, 3, 6, 5. That's 11 cards in our deck right there. We drew a card for the turn, and we went through 11 cards searching. We're fixing our hand. Now we have a 7-cost Kairos, a 7-cost Rebecca, a 4-cost Zoro, and a 4-cost Cavendish. We have the stage already, so we're ready to start rocking and rolling next turn. They're going to go ahead. They chose to not use their leader effect to give Basil Hawkins blocker. I don't know why. Hey, that's fine with me though, right? So we're going to attach a Dawn to the leader. We're going to swing it for 6. They give us a 2K. We're going to play out the Leo here. We only had a 6 Dawn turn, guys. We couldn't do anything too crazy. And because we have the stage out, maybe that's why they didn't want to block with anything, because we could swing our Dressrosa characters into it immediately with the stage. But okay, that's fine with me. I'm going to play out the Frankie here. Let's see what they choose to do. They're going to play out another Basil Hawkins. They have 2 Basil Hawkins. They have a 3-cost Bonney on the board. They're going to put a 5-cost or lower card in their life or something like that. They put a Drake in there, the 3-cost 2K counter Drake. We're going to 1K counter out of that. Now we have 5 cards left in hand, and you know what that means. Now if I block and lose Frankie, I'll get to draw a card. We're going to block with him, draw a card, play out we had a Bartolomeo in our trash. We're going to pull that out with the effect, and here we go, guys. Now we have a target to attack into on the board. But actually, that's not really a target, is it? Because then we'll lose a life if we attack into that. All right, we play out so now that we have an 8 Dawn turn, we swing for 6 with leader. We're going to play out the 7 Cost Rebecca, cheating out the Kairos, cheating out the Zoro, and we are going to pop the 3 Cost blocker, bounce back a Basil Hawkins, and we're going to go 9 into 5 here, guys. We're going to go 9 into the Basil Hawkins with our freshly summoned, our freshly, our fresh Kairos. And they do take that, and then we lose a card from the top of our life, but it doesn't matter. They just lost so much tempo there. And here we go. So now we're basically at a point where we're in a very commanding position in this game. And, okay, right here, we're going to -3 to the Trafalgar Law. We're going to bounce it back to hand that they just played. We're going to swing in for 5. We're going to swing in for 5, swing for 6, swing for 9. Yeah, this is looking ugly for my opponent, right, guys? My board is stacked right now. So they have 2 1-cost characters on the board, okay? Not relevant to me at all, right? I don't care at all about those. And he just used 1 as a blocker. He is going to replay out the Law and going to gain a life, and he's going to swing for 9. But is it going to be enough? Okay, we're going to take the hit, but is it going to be enough to save him this turn? We'll have to see. We will have to see. We're going to play out the Leo right here, it looks like. We'll swing for 5 first with the good old the 7 cost Rebecca. That thing's a 7 cost 4K, so we have to invest a Dawn just to swing. But we'll swing 5, swing 5. They're going to counter out as aggressively as they can here. We're going to swing in for 6. They 2K counter out. We'll swing in for 9. They take that one. Swing for 9 more. They're going to be down to 1. They do get a body right there, but that's okay. We're going to play out the Leo. We'll rest the stage. We'll get a 2K counter Bartolomeo, or excuse me, the one-legged toy soldier. And now I think what we're going to do is probably, let's see, I'm deep in the tank here on what I want to do, because I think I should just play out some blockers. Yeah, we're going to play out the EDO, and we're going to play out the Leo, and now we have 3 Dawn left for the turn. We could have been a little more aggressive, but that's okay. They're going to play out a Rush Ace, and let's see what they do with it. They're going to go, first they're going to swing for 9 into 6 with their Law. We're going to block and draw a card immediately. They're going to go 10 into 6 with their new Ace. And we're actually going to block out of that. And now they only have a 5K swing left. We have 1 life left. And I don't know how they're going to survive this next turn, guys, unless they have a... what's it called? You're the one who should disappear. Unless they have You're the one who should disappear as, like, one of their life cards. Okay, so they gain blocker with their leader effect, finally revealing a 8-cost 9K Eustace Kid. That card is completely dead at this point of the game because I have no life. That's why I took that last life card very aggressively, guys. Okay, but let's see what happens. We're going to go in for 7. Let's see if he can get out of this. He has 4 cards left in hand. He can. He has You're the One Who Should Disappear, by the way. He just revealed that. Now we're going to swing for 9 with one of our Kairos, I think. Actually, we're going to go 5 into 5. Let's see if he wants to give me that. Okay, so he does. So now we're going to go 9 into 5, and now we're probably going to go 11 into 10, or maybe more into that. Let's see what happens. We're going to swing 12 into 10, see if he wants to give me the blocker. He only has 1 card in hand, so he has to give me the blocker or let the character go. We play out 2 Bartolomeos. Your turn. Guys, this deck has a lot of defensive elements. They're going to play out a Nami to pop one of my Bartolomeos. Oh, whoops. They don't have a trigger in hand. They do not have a trigger in hand, guys. That's very unfortunate. So we're going to be able to block out very easily, and that's going to be game for sure. So GG. So they just tried to... Let me explain what happened. They just tried to play out a Nami to pop my Bartolomeo, and guess what? We're just going to get out of it. Excuse me. They can't even do it because they don't have a trigger in hand. And remember, guys, we did have 2 2K counters in hand, so all we had to get out of was a... What was it? It was going to be an 8K and a 9K attack. 6 on the 1 cost, 4 on the leader, and then 10 from the ace. So we were getting out of that pretty much no matter what. Even if he did somehow have a trigger with a Nami, we still get out of it, right? And that's what I was showing by leaving 1 blocker left. Good game to my opponent there. Hey, Blue-Black Usopp is a very strong deck, guys. It has a very strong color combo going on. And these new cards they got are what's so good. Like that 4 cost 6K Zoro, the 4 cost 6K Cavendish, the 4 cost 5K Frankie. These cards are all-stars, guys. They are all all-stars. Okay, so we're playing against Reiju now. They're going to go ahead and do a perfect turn 1 play, or turn 2 play with Porsche into the 4 cost Ichiji, and now swinging for 7. We'll take 5, we'll take 7, and we're down to 2 life already. We're going to go 6 into the Ichiji, drawing a card, and drawing 2 and trashing 1. We trash a Kairos. They're going to stay aggressive because they're down to 3 Dawn. Swing 5, we'll get out of both of those. Swing 7. We'll probably even counter out of this one because we're going to get those cards back with Frankie next turn if we need to. Okay, they play out Black Maria. Let's see what happens now. Okay, we are up to 6 Dawn, and we can get pretty aggressive here, right? We can start smashing into characters. Swing 7 into 5, draw 2 trash one. We'll trash the Leo, and then we're going to probably play out this Leo. We'll rest the stage, or excuse me, we're at to rest the stage and the leader this turn, guys, because we're going to play out the Zoro to pop the Black Maria next. Okay. There's that. It's too bad we didn't have 1 extra Dawn this turn. I probably could have played that a little bit differently where I could have been more aggressive, not playing out the Leo, but I wanted to fix my hand. I wanted to get 2K counters. I wanted to get bodies on the board, and that's what we decided to go with. And I'm kind of daring him to keep attacking him with this guy. Okay, and he does. He's going to swing for 8 with his dude, so I'm going to 9K out. I give him 2 2Ks there. Then he goes 8 and 6 into my Cavendish. Perfect. We're fine with that, right, guys? We're completely fine with that. Okay, so we have an 8 Dawn turn here. So what we're probably going to do is get this Ikiji out of the way. We'll see what happens. We're going to go -5 to him. We're going to play out the Rebecca, showing the Kairos and the Frankie, bouncing him back to hand. And now we're going to swing for 5 at leader, swing for 6 at leader. And one thing I have to say again, guys, I forgot to mention this after the first game, or before the first game, but remember, everyone is new to playing these decks, guys, including me. So if you see better plays, I believe it. I have no doubt that there are better plays, guys. I have no doubt. Just understand we're trying to, I'm trying to, okay, we 2K counter on that 5K, and let's see what he does with this Ikiji. But I'm trying to do my best here to learn the decks on the fly for everybody. But don't worry, we're getting him quickly. So he's going to swing 7 into that. We're going to draw a card from the effect. He's getting scared, right? Like, my board's becoming massive. I swing 2 into 2, that Reiju's gone. Now I can just go 9 into 7. Okay, and now what does he do, right? He's down to, he has no cards left on the board. I do have a Zoro in hand, and I think right here, we're just going to go super aggressive, play out the Zoro, no effect, your turn. What is he going to do now? I don't actually know. I have 2 life, guys. I have a blocker. I have a blocker that makes another blocker, right? That's where we're at right now. That's the stage of the game we're at, where Usopp feels very comfortable right around this position right here. So they are going to play out an Ikiji. They play out a Sanji into an Ikiji into a Niji. They have 1 Dawn left for the turn. What are they going to do with it? They can't... Okay, let me pause. You might be wondering, why are they taking so long? They can't bounce back my Frankie or my Zoro because they're not 4 costs right now. They're 5. Okay, they're 5 costs, guys. That's very, very relevant. If he wants to pop my Leo, I literally don't care, right? But everything else on my board, he can't even touch with Niji. So let's see what he does now. He just chooses no effect because he'd rather, I think he had already chosen to bounce. You can't redo that. He does end up attacking in to one of my characters. I lose the character and I draw a card from that with my leader. I'm going to block out here, get another blocker on the board, and you see where this is going, guys. Those recurring blockers. Oh, man. Then we get a Cavendish. 7 into 7, draw 2, trash 1. We don't need that card. And then let's go another 7 into him. Look what we're doing, guys. We're just eating up his hand, eating up his board. We'll go 9 into 7, see if he wants to save it. He does not. And now we do have a blocker to play after this, but I have to make sure I do everything just right. Okay, looks like I'm going to play out the Leo first and tap the stage, see what we get. A 2K counter and probably another 2K counter, or the Rebecca. I like the, no, okay, the 2K counter is the better call in my opinion. Let's see what I go with. Yep. So I have 4 2K counters in my hand, guys. I do have to trash 1 with the effect there, but here we go. We're going to swing for 5. We're going to swing for 7. He's going to take that one. He got out of the 5. We're going to play out another blocker, and we're sitting on 4K counter right now, guys. 2 2Ks. 2 life, 2 blockers. This is a really rough position for my opponent to be in. Okay, so they're about to swing with Niji. Let's see where they're going with this. No, they're going back and forth like, should I swing with it? Should I not? Okay, where are we going? They're going to go at life here. Well, that's a 2K counter. Actually, I might take it, guys. Try to force him to go all in here. Yeah, I am going to take this because I had 2 life to give. He's going to play out Judge. Judge is going to cheat out all these different characters, the Reiju, the Niji, and the Ichiji. And they're going to go Reiju. They're going to do all of them again. And here we go. Let's see what he does with that. He's going to give -2,000 to my Zoro that's tapped, but I think he should have gave -2,000 to the Cavendish. Because I'm not, like, super invested in that card, but at the same time, he can't really get out of these, right? I'm going to go 2K, 1K to get out of that, and now he swings into again. I'm going to give him a blocker and draw a card from it with my leader effect. And, okay, that's his whole turn. He can't do anything else, right? He has no other options. So here we go, guys. It's time to go face. Swing 9. Swing 7. Okay. Swing 7. That was 3 1Ks he just had to give me. Swing 7. He had a 2K and 1K he was sitting on. Swing 9. Okay. And if he had somehow, he couldn't get out of that. He had 1 life left, right? But then we had another swing 7 after that if needed, or play out blockers or whatever. We were just kind of going for it. It was over. GG to my opponent. Reiju is getting that new Sanji seems pretty nice for it. I know it's not the craziest upgrade in the world, but it is nice. Okay, next game we have against Jewelry Bonney. Okay, volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go, guys. We're good to go. We're going to start off with Leo, and that is one thing I will say, guys, while we're kind of waiting for this game to go, get started, is if you don't get the stage, the deck does feel terrible. I'm not going to lie. I'm just being completely honest, guys. It feels terrible. However, it's not like it's unwinnable. You become spoiled when you play with the stage, right? However, in this deck, we have four Rebecca searchers and 4 Leo searchers. So we're going through quite a few cards. I do think it's very, I think it's consistent enough for it to be okay. I think it's consistent enough. So they had no turn 1 or turn 2 play. They're about to swing in for, let's see what here. They're going to play out a Cavendish, swing in for 6. We'll 2K counter out. You want to keep your hand size a little bit low in this deck, just like with Rebecca, where you can start getting advantage from your leader. Getting some card advantage from your leader effect. So right here, guys, it looks like we're going to... Okay, they're going to rest down my guy. That's annoying, but we had a feeling that would happen. They do take the hit. We are going to Ice Age Cavendish and pop it with Zoro. That simple. I am not taking any chances with that Zoro on the board. Or, excuse me, with that Cavendish. Zoro pops Cavendish with an Ice Age. Yep. It is what it is, right? We're not taking any chances. Because we just had to make it past this one turn. And now if they play out another one, we can bounce it with Kairos. Okay, let's see what they do here. They attack into Frankie. We get the, wait, what just happened? I got to go back real quick, guys. I missed it. I was yapping. Okay, so they're going to attack into Frankie right here for 6. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to use the leader's effect first to draw a card. We get a 2K counter, and then we use the Frankie's on KO effect to cheat in a blocker, the Bartolomeo we already had in trash. They're going to play out a smoker, but now things are going to go really south for my opponent, right? I'm on an 8 Dawn turn. Watch how these 8 Dawn turns go, guys. Like, these 8 Dawn turns are pretty nasty. I'm seeing how I want to do this. I can only swing with 1 character here because they're going to rest down my leader. Yep. And that's fine. But right here, we're going to play out Rebecca, play out Kairos, play out Frankie. Kairos bounces back the smoker they just played. And look at the board state, guys. Just go ahead and take a look at the board state real quick if you don't mind. I mean, that is pretty disgusting, right? This is practically unwinnable at this point. I mean, it's not literally unwinnable, but this is a bad position for my opponent to be in, right? Okay, let's see what they do now. And we have 4 cards in hand, so if they KO any of our characters, we're drawing a card. And if they go for the Frankie, look at this. It looks like they might. We'll see what they do here. And I have a Bartolomeo on the board too, guys. They can't even go for the character they want to go for. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's see what they do here. They should still swing. They still need to swing, I think. But we'll see what happens. Okay, they're going to swing for 5. We're going to get the Bartolomeo and draw a card from that with our leader effect. Very good. They're going to play out Carrot. They're going to lock down. Let's see who they choose to lock down. They lock down the Zoro. I think they should have locked down the Frankie personally, but hey, that's just me. Okay, so right here, we're going in for 9. Let's see what he does. I want to see what he does, see what he taps down. He might tap down the blocker. Good call. That was a nice call there. And let's see what we have next, lined up for him next year. We're gonna play out a searcher first, I think. Maybe not. We're actually gonna bounce back the Carrot, and he is gonna rest the smoker to try and save it. And we're gonna go 9 into the smoker with our new Kairos because of the stage. We'll swing in for 5. I think we'll swing in for 6, and then we'll probably replace the Rebecca with another Rebecca. Okay, swing 5, swing 6. He gives me a 0-cost 3K to get out of 6, so he must be running very low on counter power. Okay, we play out the Rebecca, like I said, and we get a Cavendish. Right? Yeah, I think we got the Cavendish or the Kairos. I can't remember. But, guys, at this point, what is he supposed to do? If he drops down Eustace Kids, right? If he starts dropping down the 8-cost Eustace Kid, I'm swinging 10s into him for 1 Dawn investment, right? And look at this. He's going to swing in for 5 or 6 into my Frankie. I'm going to draw a card from that, first of all, and then I'm going to play out a Bartolomeo from that. He keeps my Zoro locked down. He can't lock down my Kairos because he's 8 Dawn. They're going to play out a Shanks, very nice effect there. Yeah, that's probably the best thing he could have done. But here's the thing. I have an Ice Age. I have an Ice Age and a Kairos in my hand. I could just bounce him out of my way if I need to. Or do I even care? Do I even care about that Shanks right now? Because my bodies on the board are 9Ks, right? The ones I have to worry about. Okay, so he does counter out aggressively there. I think we are going to go ahead and push this guy back and dare him to play it again. And now we can go 9 into 6, you know, with the new Kairos. That stage is incredible, guys. The stage is so incredible. And then I'm going to play out an Idio. Your turn. I have 4 cards in hand. I actually have decent counter power. He is going to pass. He's going to concede. GG. I think the only thing he could have hoped to do there was maybe play out the Hody Jones in hand, resting my 2 characters that are not rested, and going for my board. But again, he can't even go for my Kairos. My Kairos is an 8K, is a 9K. So if he pays 7, loses his last life card, taps down what we're talking about to go into my Kairos, even if he loads up the remaining 3 Dawn to get to 11K, I can actually 2K, 1K out of it in my hand. And then he has no more relevant attacks for his leader. He can swing into my face if he wants to. And I have 3 life, so he can't even go for lethal. So checkmate position there. Blue-black Usopp, very, very strong deck. Okay. Next up is a game against Blackbeard. This one here, let me go speed 2x. This is a matchup that I was talking to my buddy about actually right before this video. My buddy Mike, shout out to Mike. We're always talking One Piece. And he was saying, you know, what do I think? You know, he was kind of saying, like, do you think this matchup is good or bad for the Usopp? Like, how do you think he dealt with it? And I was like, you know, honestly, the Coliseum with Cavendish and any of the characters, honestly, like, the Coliseum, and then in another version we're going to talk about that I'm not running, Red Rock. Remember, Usopp has access to Red Rock, right? So if they use their entire 10 Dawn turn to drop down the Blackbeard, we can actually just deal with it very easily with that. But the stage alone is so massive at taking board control from our opponent that it's just hard to ignore. It's just so good. And I think this game will kind of show that. So my opponent right here is going to make a mistake, if I remember correctly. They're not going to use their leader effect. Okay, let me see. I think it's this turn. They swing it for 6. They do not use their leader effect. We get a Rebecca. We're going to snag a blocker. I'm not going to use any more on-play effects this turn because we also have Frankie too, right? Frankie doesn't care about on-play, but we do have a lot of very powerful on-play effects. That's for sure. But here we go. Going to play out the Frankie, and we got away with one there. We got to do 1 extra search this turn is kind of the way that I see it. But hey, we couldn't really punish him. We didn't have any removal in hand, so he got pretty lucky there. I'm going to be honest. Okay, here we go. They're going to use their leader effect early this time so they don't forget. They swing it for 6, but they forget to use their Katarina Devon and turn it into a blocker. Sure, if you want to. I don't think they realized they just saved themselves with that play because I was going to drop down Cavendish and bash into that blocker. So they actually just had a happy little mistake, right? It was one of those that was actually for the better. Okay, maybe he had no intention of doing that anyway. He goes ahead and swings for... Hang on, pause. Everything's happening so fast here. So what happened, let's go over it again. They're going to go double strike on Katarina Devon, and they're going to swing in here for like 10, I think it was. Okay. Let's see. Oops, sorry, I didn't even hit play. There we go. Yeah, so there's double tack. They're going to attach 4, swing in for 10. We're going to block. We have 5 cards in hand, so we're going to get to draw a card. Then we're going to play out a card from our trash rested. They're going to swing into it. We're actually going to save this card, guys. We're actually going to save the card. If he wants to swing into it again with Teach, I'm fine with that. Okay, he's going to go 7 into... He should go into the Bartolomeo, guys. I'm going to be honest. Because if he doesn't, I'm okay with that, right? Like, I don't care at all if he doesn't. He's going to swing... Yeah, he goes 7 into face. We'll take it every single time. We're not upset about that one bit. Okay, they play out a Vasco shot. We did get we drew an Idio for the turn. And at this point in the game, I don't know what they're going to do, right? Because we're reaching, like, critical mass now. Okay, he doesn't block out that 6K and a 4 attack. He should have used Vasco shot, in my opinion. We're going to go 9 into 6 here. Now we're going to slam down a Cavendish, and I think we're going to go 6 into it, excuse me. We're just saying, hey, if you want to counter out, you can. Okay, and now we're going to play out the Frankie, and their turn. We'll pass on that. We could have gotten way more aggressive there and gone for... Did they forget to use their leader effect again? No, they did not. They did not forget leader effect this turn. I was going to say I should have tried to find a way to punish him that turn if he had forgotten. I can't even talk today, guys. I'm struggling. Okay, so they're going to turn off my blocker on Frankie, completely turn off his on KO effect, but Not a big deal, right? Not really a big deal. They're going to swing for 5. We're going to counter out of this first attack, and then watch this. Now they have the Katarina Devon attack, and they choose to not even go with it because I would have used the Bartolomeo to draw a card, right? Very nice. So we're going to swing 7 into face here to draw 2, trash 1. I keep drawing these stages. How annoying it happens. But here we go. Swinging in for 7 more. And, yeah, let's see what this guy's got. He is in trouble. Let's see. He might have gotten a trigger there. Just waiting on our opponent. Maybe not. Play out the Kairos just for a body on the board. And I think we're going to pass on that, guys. Yeah, we passed the turn. And what does he want to do now? So he is going to use Liberation. Whoopsie daisy. I think that's actually called Black Hole, by the way, guys. He made a very, very big mistake, didn't he? Main, if your leader has Blackbeard Pirates type, choose up to one of your opponent's characters and negate their effect for this turn. Then, if that character has a cost of 4 or less, KO it. My character is a cost of 5 right now, guys, and that is not an effect that can be negated from this because it's from my leader, okay? This guy got really, really punished right there. But at the same time, what was he supposed to do? Like, say he pops my Bartolomeo instead. Okay, that's fine. I don't draw a card from that because I have 6 cards in hand. But still, he gets rid of that. I still have the blocker. I have 2 life. I don't have a lot of counter power in my hand, to be honest. But yeah, I just don't. I think we're completely fine here. Okay, double attack. He is coming in for 12. Okay, well, here is a blocker. The blocker's all yours. That blocker is all yours, guys. And let's see what he does next. I don't know how he's supposed to get out of it from this position, right? I feel like he's in such a terrible position. I don't know what he's going to do. Okay, 6. He goes 12 into 6, but then he just concedes because that's game over now, right? It's like, wait a minute. You have 1 life left and you swung out with your attacker or with your only blocker. He probably couldn't survive anyway, let's just be honest, because I have a 9K, 9K. I could have gone 9 3 times and then 11. I could have gone 3 9s and an 11 this turn. There's no way he's surviving, right? There's just no way, even with the blocker. Because 1 9 will eat the blocker, 1 9 will take a life. The other 9, he could get out of, let me see, 2, 3, 4, 5. He would be able to get out of 1 more, and then the final attack's for 11. He can't get out of it. So GG to my opponent. That was a fun one. Guys, the stage against Blackbeard is absolutely pivotal for this matchup, I think. Okay, and then we have one more game here, Game 5 against Shanks. This leader feels really good, guys. It feels really good. I'm not a huge fan of the leader, to be honest, even though I really like Blue-Black with Dressrosa all the way back from the Rebecca days. I think I just need to let it grow on me a little more. And ever since Yellow came out and I started going all in on Yellow, man, it's been like all I play. It's been like all I play. So we're going to play out the Leo starting off early. I'm looking for stage, okay? Just so everyone's aware. Whenever you do an early search like this, I am looking for the stage unless I already have it. And we couldn't find it. We just went through, what was that, 8 cards? And we went second, so we drew a card for the turn. So in one turn, we went through 9 cards. We couldn't see the stage. So, okay, hopefully we see it later. They're going to swing in for 5. We will counter out semi-aggressively here. I don't want to take too much damage early on against Shanks because they can just blitz you down. We're going to go 2 into 2. Let's see if he wants to save this. Be my guest, right? Be my guest if you want to save this because I have another 2K attack coming in. And then if you save that one, I'll swing in for 5. Like, it's just, there's no reason, right? Okay, so right here, we'll go ahead and swing first to see if he wants to do anything because I could swing for 6 right now with Leo, but I'd rather develop a body in this situation. Okay, it's my opponent's turn here. Let's see what they choose to do. They're up to 5 Dawn. You know, usually you'd see something like Lucky Roo here into something else, you know. Okay, they play out Otama. That kind of tells me they're trying to set up like a Makino play for later. I don't know what they're doing, guys. I'm going to be honest. I do not agree with this play either. I'm feeling like that maybe that was a mistake or it might be a new player. But again, let's not be too mean. You know, people are trying to learn how to play against different decks. I'm going to block with the Frankie just to get a new blocker and save counter in hand. That was the only reason for that. And here we go. Looks like we're going to swing in for 7 with the leader. That way we can play around his leader effects. He'll have to give me at least a 2K for it. Yep, he's going to give me minus 1,000. Gives me double 1K. That is odd, guys. I don't know if it was a misclick with that Otama or what. We play out the Cavendish. He is going to pop our dude. Completely rocks our Cavendish there. Unfortunate. We didn't get any value from that card. But don't worry. We have 2 more in hand. Not exactly ideal, by the way. Okay, we get the stage. So I just messed up there massively. I could have played out the stage there and then done all the things I'm showing you right here. I think it would have been a much better idea. But hey, we're at least going to play out the Kairos, bounce back our Searcher, do another search, and just pass turn. So that was like a utility value play there. It wasn't really so much a removal play. But I still think I should have just slammed down Cavendish and just wrecked right through that card. But here's the good thing about establishing Kairos. They don't have many good ways to deal with a 9K body under 9,000 when they have under 9 Dawn, right? So that, they're gonna have to combo this with like a I don't know, like a Hongo or something with Rayleigh or something like that, or would that even work? Or maybe a building snake with Rayleigh. Okay, so they're gonna swing in for 10. I think we took that. I missed it. I think we got out of one and took the other. And here we go, guys. 9 and a 7. You want to save your character? We still have our blocker. We're completely fine there. And here we go. Here comes the value plays. Value plays for days right here with this Rebecca. We're going to play this out. Actually, we might do some searching first to see if there's anything else we want to play out. Yeah, I like the blocker way better. So now we're going to play out the Rebecca, replacing the other Rebecca with a Kairos, and replacing one of the Leo, or replacing the Leo with probably a Frankie. Okay, no, I just decided, I already have a blocker. We're going to KO the card he has on the board, and your turn. I guess we can swing 6. Yeah, we'll finish off the turn. We'll cap off the turn with a 6K attack. Okay, and here we go. The board is strong. Okay, we are strong in this situation right here. I've got 3 2K counters in hand. I've got 2 blockers. I'm about to be throwing out 1 every turn. He gets rid of my EDO, but I didn't have any enough. I had too many cards in hand to draw from it. Okay, he's not getting that card for 7. Nope, not happening. We 2K counter out of that. He swung 7 into 6 after the... So what he did there, guys, let me pause and explain. The Rayleigh did minus 3,000 to one Kairos, minus 2,000 to another. Those are still 7K and 6K bodies. They're completely fine. And he popped my IDEO, but then he swings in 7 into my 6. We're going to 2K counter out every time. But now is he going to be able to survive? Because we have a lot of attacks coming his way. We're going to swing 5 with the 7 cost Rebecca, 6 with Zoro, I think 6 with the leader, and then 6 with one of the Kairos, and then 7 with the other Kairos. And then we're going to drop a blocker and say good luck. We're actually going to drop double blocker and tell him good luck. Okay, here we go. Swing in for 6. Okay, and believe it or not, guys, in this position right here, if he counters out, perfect. Now we can attack in. If he had not countered out, I would not have attacked with that final Kairos in case he had the 10 cost whatever his name is, the 10 cost Goldie Roger. Even though I still could have gotten out of that attack with a 2K. No, I couldn't have. Yeah, that would have cost me the game if I had tried that. Okay, he's going to play out a Ben Beckman. He pops one of my Kairos. He should have popped a Frankie, to be honest, I think. But either way, anytime one of our characters gets removed, when we have 5 less cards in hand, another Dressrosa, draw a card with Kairos. And yeah, this guy's going to be beating his head against the wall. There's nothing he can do here. Watch this. He's going to swing in for 9. We're actually going to just take this because I'm going for lethal next turn, and I want to keep all my bodies on the board. Swings for 6. Well, that's a 2K counter. And now we're going to be swinging for 7, 7, 7, 7, 9. That's the attacks we have going on here, or something along those lines. It might be 7. Yeah, hang on. 7, 7, 7, 9, 10, or something along those lines. Absolutely brutal. Impossible to survive. GG. And he had and he was bricked up at the end. He had 3 of the 10 cost rush shanks. Well, GG to my opponent there. That was a lot of fun. Once this deck gets going, guys, and once you get used to running it, I have to say it is a very strong list, guys. It is a very strong deck. Now, speaking of that, we are going to look at one other version. Spoiler warning, before we get into my version, we are going to look at a version that just got first place in the Asia Finals, okay? That's right, Blue-Black Usopp, first place deck list right here, guys. Let me go full screen with this. I'm going to shrink my head down a little bit so it's easier to see. Not the same list we were just running. Understand that. This list came out literally like 15 hours ago. It says like 15 hours ago up here. It's probably something like that. But check this out, guys. Can I zoom in? Let me see if it zooms in on this this site. That's not bad. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, now, just know under my head right here, or yeah, behind my head, there are 2 of this 7 cost Luffy. Okay, guys, now I'm going to put this back up. And we'll look at these down here at the bottom in a minute. There's 4 of everything. Or actually, no, there's not. There's 4 Kairos, 4 Tempest Kick, 1 Gum Gum, King Kong Gun, and 2 Red Rocks. Now, look at this, guys. Here's the list. Very, very clean. I think the core of the list is set. I do agree with going down to 3 Zoros. There was a game that I lost when I was doing testing where it was like, I got all 4 Zoros in my hand, and I didn't even need one of them, because I think it was against like a purple Luffy or something, and my list was not running these Tempest Kicks like this list was, or the Red Rocks. So I was just like, dude, I have nothing for this guy. I have no answer here. But I think the core of the list is pretty straightforward. They're actually not running the stage in this list, guys. That's wild. They're not running stage. So I guess this is a totally different version of the list than I'm used to. Am I just not seeing it, guys? Someone help me out here if I'm missing something. They're not running the stage. So very, very interesting. But I will say this, the searchers, I 100% agree with all that, of course. Only 3 Rebeccas. So this is a very fine-tuned list. 4 one-legged toy soldiers, 4 Idio, 4 Bartolomeo, 4 Frankie. That whole little package right there, very, very powerful, right? That is a very, very strong package. Then it's running 3 of the 2K counter Sabos. Just to look at all the 2K counters real quick, they are running 4 one-legged toy soldier, 4 Bartolomeo, and 3 Sabo. So 11 2K counters. 4 of the Frankie. Guys, Frankie with Bartolomeo and Idio, incredible. Absolutely incredible synergy going on there, where it's like, okay, nice. I can actually counter out with my blockers early like I would want to do anyway, because they're like saving me from an attack. And then when I play out my Frankie later, I can just block out with him, right? I can block with this card, draw cards with my leader effect, and get these little cards back from the trash. It's a match made in heaven. It's absolutely perfect. The thing that is most interesting to me about this list, after looking at it and really studying it, like, you know, or at least just like looking over it like this, is not having the stage. Not having the stage seems crazy to me. Like, and then still running 4 Cavendish, right? Still running the 4 Cavendish without the stage is very, very interesting. The Zoro being able to pop stuff, you know, we already talked about that. Rebecca, the 7 cost Luffy, everything else is pretty solid. But there's 3 big cards I want to talk about. I was running Ice Age over the Tempest Kicks, but Tempest Kick is still like a really good card, and I could see wanting to run this actually. This is probably a better idea to run because your Kairos is going to be able to hit 90% of the targets in the game, right? And then for the ones you can't hit, we've got Gum Gum Red Rock, where we can just deal with it very, very easily. Then they are running the 7 cost Luffy. This card can just... If this card sticks, it is just going to eat up the board. Now, you might be asking, like, yeah, well, that's if it sticks, right? Well, here's the thing. You're going to be playing... There is a combo with this deck where you can go, okay, I'm going to play Rebecca. Okay, that's a 7 Dawn investment. I'm going to cheat out the Luffy, this Luffy right here, and guess what I'm going to cheat out alongside it? This card right here, the Sabo. And you're going to be able to protect it on the turn you played it. And you have a 4 cost, you have a 4 cost 5K, a 7 cost 4K, and a 7 cost 7K. And actually, excuse me, those are 8 cost cards in this deck because of the leader effect. So I do really like what's going on here. But again, I feel like there has to be a way to fit the stage in to make this list even better. Because Luffy being able to attack on the turn you play it into your opponent's characters, it seems pretty good. This Gum Gum King Kong gun as a 1-of is very interesting. I understand it. It's kind of like a Hail Mary type of situation. I don't know if it's even necessary. I would literally just rather run 1 stage in the place of 1 of these. But draw 3, trash 2 from the trigger is insane. I'll tell you that much right now. But yeah. Good stuff, man. This is a really cool list. We'll have to mess around with this one later. It looks pretty good. We'll have to see if this was just like a, you know, if this is the list or if it just is going to win the one time. We'll have to see if this is the set list going forward as more and more results come out. Tell me what you guys think about this list. This is not correct, this buy price right here, guys. Remember, none of these cards are even available for us over in the West yet. Like, you know, we don't have access to anything from OP10 unless it's on the sim. Okay. So, now, that's enough of that list. Let me go and zoom out real quick, and then we'll go back to the list we were running for today. So here it is. I'm just going to give you guys my run-through of this, my rundown. I really like what we just saw with that other list going down to 1 Zoro, or going down 1 Zoro. I do think we can get away with going down 1 Zoro and probably going down 1 Rebecca, because number one, it would open up 2 free spots, and if I were to do that, I would actually run the 2 Red Rocks like right away. Whoops, I typed in 2. The 2 Red Rocks, I like that idea immediately. Like, that's going to be an auto-include for me going forward, I think. And again, remember, I didn't make this list, guys. The list we're looking at right now is not my creation. We just copy-pasted from online. This list was already running the 3 Sabos. I do like this card quite a bit. And I think one thing I do want to do is add the 7 cost Luffys. Let me go to that real quick. That is something that I do want to add, especially to mess around with that combo. Because remember, guys, this card, you reveal up to 2 cost 7 or lower Dressrosa type characters other than Rebecca. It doesn't matter like which color they are. So this is even though this card is a blue card, it can cheat out the black card. So I do like that right away. I could imagine going down one Cavendish and going down the Ice Ages, because what I want to do right away is put in the Tempest Kick. Let me see something. I'm going to go up 2 Tempest Kick right away. I am running 2 Suru, and I already have 10 2K counters. The other list was running 11. So I think we just drop the 2 Surus and go up 2 Tempest Kicks. Yeah, this is where I'm leaning with the deck, like for future testing. I'm a big fan of what this is right here. I think this has a lot of potential. And I could even see, like, remember, they were running one Gum Gum King Kong gun. I could even see going, like, one Quarter Coliseum, one King Kong gun. But at the same time, I'm even considering, like, one Gecko Moria. Because there's a situation with Gecko Moria where you could be like, okay, play it out, get back the Frankie active, and then like an Idio rested, or even get a Leo or Rebecca out rested, and do some searching like that. I think there could be some potential there, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see what happens. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. Let me put a modded list for this one, because this is something I will probably mess around with later. And I love this idea. This is not something I had thought about. I have not put a lot of time into Usopp, but I really love the idea of playing out this card with the with Rebecca and the Sabo, right? So boom, you get the whole package popping straight into play. And notice what this one says, guys. If one of your characters other than Sabo with an original cost of 7 or lower would be removed. So again, original cost of Luffy 7, even though on the board he'll be an 8. So you'll be able to save it easily, right? Remove from the board. It doesn't have any kind of color restriction, does it? Okay, if one of your characters other than Sabo with an original cost of 7 or lower would be removed from the board by your opponent's effect, yeah. No color restriction. We're good, guys. We'll be able to do that very easily. That'll be a really good thing. And if they want to attack into the Sabo, they're going to be able to do that, right? They are going to be able to swing into the Sabo. But hey, hopefully we got some value from Frankie earlier and, got out some extra blockers. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, Cavendish is really strong. Guys, after playing with the Quarter Coliseum, I can almost like not play without it. I'm not going to lie, guys. Maybe that's a weakness I have to work on, but I almost just can't play without this card now, and I feel like it's so strong. So I'm going to try to keep making it work, and yeah, that's pretty much where I stand on that. I'm going to try to keep making the Quarter Coliseum work, guys. Because the other thing, too, is it's not just a matter of like, oh, but you can always just use your leader effect, right, with like cards like, your Zoro and Leo. It's like, yeah, but then we're slowing down tempo. I'd rather just be able to keep that tempo up and be able to attack right away with the Cavendish and do things like this. But yeah, this is where I'm leaning with the list for now. It felt really strong the other way around, whichever list we were using before that we copied. But I'm leaning more towards this. Now I cannot wait to test this card out. Okay? All right, I'm done, guys. I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Let me go ahead and bring up the playmat page. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel, guys, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, hopping on the Discord, whatever you might be doing, right, guys? Whatever you're doing to help out and, to support the channel, I really appreciate it. Big shout out to all the VV Pirates playmat supporters. Hope you guys are enjoying your playmats. Big shout out to all the members on YouTube. Like I said, I'm about to update this page hopefully by tomorrow, where we got all the new YouTube members on there. Big shout out to everybody who's doing that. It's much more than what you see here, guys. I just have not had the time to update it. And then last but not least, the patrons. Thank you guys so much for everybody who donates to the channel, helping me out, helping keep the dream alive, helping the channel going, and helping everything like that, guys. Just literally just trying to help out in whatever way possible. Thank you guys so much. All right, I'm done, guys. That's enough yapping for one day. Until next time, please do not forget to like and subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below. All right? Okay, guys. Until next time. Peace.